As long as we come on air every evening, the whole world must listen. As long as we preach this very gospel, Chukwu Okike Abiama must be with us. Therefore, without any further hesitation, we must proceed to offer every prayer to Chukwu Okike Abiama who resided in heaven. Therefore, as we always commence, not from today, but from of old, our Father who art in heaven, Nna nke bi n'eluigwe, ka aha gị dị nsọ, that your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and adulation, because there is none like thee. You fight our battles for us. Every blessed day you demonstrate through your kindness and your everlasting mercy that you are our Lord, our God, and our Creator. This evening we offer these your children unto thee. All over this very planet that you created, they are listening across the entire 24 time zones on this very planet where they inhabit. They are listening to your gospel this very evening, this gospel of redemption, a gospel of hope, a gospel of restoration, a gospel of renewal, this very gospel of freedom, this very gospel of emancipation as only you ordained, that this very gospel must be preached, that mankind may be set free from the eternal damnation of the creation of the British. My goodness me, I want to remain in the spirit, because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have spilled, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, O Lord of hosts, to have mercy upon us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day. Chukwu Abiama binigwe whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word, which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth, Chukwu Okike Abiama, to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoko. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said, my name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of indigenous people of Biafra all over this very planet, I tell you.
It's your flight to the peace.
The silver jacket body with Biafra gun. Umokoko, mad people everywhere. Dara. What you don't know is bigger than you. 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 Hey, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. He dey pay me, oh, gaga. He dey pay me, oh, gaga. This your G, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. The worst thing you can do to a black man is to tell the black man the truth, yeah. The worst thing you can do to a black man is to tell the black man the truth, yeah. Ah, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. Mama, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. In this age, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. Sabotu asi dey pay me, oh, for you. Obi that it, obi them fools everywhere. Obi that it, obi them fools everywhere. Obi that it, obi them fools everywhere. When we talk about our freedom, we not go the fence. When we talk about our freedom, they go the fence. When we talk about our freedom, they go the fence. Yeah, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. Mama, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. In this age, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. Sabotu asi dey pay me, oh, gaga. Yeah. Biafra voice 247. Love you, we love you, everything me blood, brother man, you know. We go Chris. Chiamaka Jaevan. Ogarov, Rasta man of God. Love. Yeah. Biafra, you know. Ikuku. Bad guy, you know. Water master. Love you. I can't have a go on. I get y'all away with a minute. All them enemies of Biafra. Mad people everywhere. You are living in darkness, suffering and smiling. When we talk about a freedom, now go struggle for a freedom. Gonna go the face, yeah. He depend me for you. He depend me gaga. Africans, he depend me gaga. This your G, he depend me gaga. Ah, he depend me gaga. He depend me gaga. I don't know what's wrong with the reasoning ability of a blonde man. My God. So I'm on that maximum respect. Yeah. He depend me for you. He depend me gaga. Africans, he depend me gaga. This your G, he depend me gaga.
Makana wapana kamadu muna kujukwenanya lepa miriruwe oge si makasuna no oga think about your life because the end time so ndi botu inusi agwawati mati anodi eburisi ya na tesu jiri ege go ma kwese makanu panu boko Opa kichiria, abona bosongo, ona ikuchikona kana. Asi maburo kuno mare, ya buru biaru, na mogara pala namu, sorondi bozo. Opa do maketo, money is not everything. Let's fight for our freedom. For our freedom is our right. Papa mo baramsi. Na Biafra balamo, iya buna nimene kambu paraya no. Makano jife mata munyakaye, akalobe ilo leseya. Ole wife mo parani feya, nkabu panuko. Biafra is my life. Biafra balamo, I must go back to our land. And get the one who took off the Ogonyega wara mufero, ifa unkemere ya koyeseko. Gana chopi meyoso, bongo lodira kumi kahala. Mano yesu na bugoma na hibu, wesi no choro wa Nigeria. Ya biko solo ndia usala ugausa, kanyo wezero wanyeba. Maka no buro lonu gausa, azegu govano hisi. Yoga kita kwandia usofuma.
Ewe gịnị papa m gwara m si na Biafra bụ ana m. Biafra is my blood child. Oh my goodness me. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome to this very live presentation. Today's date is 3rd of July 2024. We are live and direct. And I am very, very certain that Chukwuokike Abiama Bineligwe is bearing us witness this very day. We have come to do the needful, and I want to welcome every one of you, my lovely brethren, my fellow Biafrans. I don't want to waste any time for these very preambles because we've got so many things to talk about, to deliberate, and of course dissect some information that I've gotten this very evening. A lot of things have happened already, so my brethren, I want you to take a chill pill. If you always spend 10 minutes during live broadcast, you might be spending the entire hour today, because You will not allow yourself to miss any of the segment during, or should I say, on this very live presentation, because every single thing we are going to discuss this very evening is top-notch and, of course, very, very absolutely important. And I would want to hear some, some suggestions, or should I say some submissions from Biafrans listening and watching from their various locations. So please stay tuned, be with me. Let us do this together. So please, I welcome every one of you. Frankie Bay, I can see you. You are the first person that commented even before we went live. Harrison Ahamefule, you are welcome. Obani Clement, I can see you. Ugo Chukwuokafo, you are welcome. John Nwodo, you are welcome. John Nwodo, I'm sure he's not a brother or family member of Nnia Nwodo. Nolas TV, you're welcome. Benjamin Ochie, you're welcome. Meke Ezike Ekezi, I can see you. Jerry Wibo, you're welcome. Kingsley Isaac, I can see you. Abaradike, you're welcome. Victor Mbwemena, you are welcome, my person. Okore, thank God I can see you. Isaac Nwachuku, you are welcome. Kemezie Kevin, you are welcome. Nioli Niodiambo, oh my goodness me, you are welcome to this very live presentation, my own person. Judy Dino, you are welcome. Ugo Chukwuokafo, I can see you. Harrison Ahamefule, Kingsley Isaac, I've mentioned you already. Oba Igwebike, Ode Emmanuel, Frank Chukwuka, Dada Zasa, Odo Emmanuel. Oh my goodness me, the names keep coming thick and fast. I can see the comments keep coming. Yukon So Peter, you are welcome. Okay, Chuku Stephen, you are welcome. Friday Peter, you are welcome. Chico Mini, Victor Okebu, Nwosa, Onwaso James, I see you. Me Obuye, Chikwado. Oh my goodness me. Lolo Nama, you are welcome. The names are too many, and of course we have to continue immediately without wasting any further time. Please, if I do not mention your name right now, don't mind. Just keep on commenting. Once your comment attracts me, of course I will show it to the screen. Now, we are broadcasting on 3 different platforms. We are live on our 2 YouTube channels, our main YouTube channel, which is Biafra Unite in capital letter, and of course, our new Biafra Unite TV YouTube channel. Then we are also broadcasting on our Facebook page, which is Biafra Unite Official. Biafra Unite Official. That is the only place we are broadcasting on Facebook at the moment. We are still testing that very page. That page has been dormant for the past 2 years. We have not been making use of it. So since our main page, Biafra Unite Television, is having issue, I might be taken down anytime from now. So we have decided to use that very page because it's been dormant for the past 2 years. So if you are there, please endeavor to like and share the broadcast so that others may know that we are live. We are watching the page. We give it only but 1 week. If it performs better, then we will continue making use of it. But if it doesn't perform well, then we will have no any other option than to float a new page. You are all welcome. Ozamaka Nicholas, I can see you. You are welcome. I've got many names who are also old timers in this very struggle. So please, I welcome every one of you. Endeavor to like and share this very broadcast. Very, very important. Clement Aneto, you are welcome. You all are highly welcome. Please, as I welcome you, welcome others by liking and, of course, hitting the share button so that this very broadcast will go viral. Very, very important. It's part of your contribution while we move. All right, without wasting further time, I want us to deliberate on the first agenda. The first agenda is this one on your screen. So I want us, we are not going to take time, we're not going to waste any time here because I have already made a pre-recorded broadcast on this, even though I didn't, use or have enough time to analyze it, but at least the pre-recorded broadcast is already out there. So let us just, talk about it briefly before we move into the next segment. Now, you can see from Daily Post Nigeria, they said, Nigeria CDS, Chief of Defense Staff, seeks stronger ties with South Africa Defense Forces. Seeks stronger ties with South Africa Defense Forces. So my question is, how comes the so-called giant of Africa is the one seeking stronger ties with another African country? How? And you called yourself the giant of Africa. So what kind of giant are you? What type of giant are you? If you are the giant of Africa, then other countries should be seeking stronger ties with you, not you seeking stronger ties with other countries. And for the fact that, as far as I'm concerned, I do not remember when was the last time. I can't remember the last time any country in Africa, even small countries, even small countries in Africa, seek stronger ties with the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. I can't remember when was. If there's something like that, that should be in the 80s. That should be in the 80s. Yes. That should be in the 80s, if there's anything like that. Not now, or maybe in the 90s, if I may say, in the 90s, because even in the 90s, things were still somehow better than the way it is now. So maybe in the 90s, early 90s, stroke late 90s. But from 2000 moving forward, from new millennium, I can't remember any African country, even the smallest one like Benin Republic, seeking stronger ties with Israel. How can you seek ties with a terrorist organization, a terrorist country? You can't seek, or you think they don't know what is going on in the zoo. They all understand every single thing happening in the zoo, especially in Cape Azua and internet and social media. Now they say the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher. When you say Christopher, make sure you add Mohammed Musa. General Christopher Mohammed Musa has called for reinforcement of ties between the armed forces of Nigeria and the South African National Defense Force towards addressing the multifaceted security challenges bedeviling the African continent. Musa made the call during an official visit to the Chief of South African National Defense Force, SANDF, General Rudzani Mapoanya, in Pretoria, South Africa. A statement by the Acting Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukur Gusau, on Tuesday in Abuja, described the meeting as a panacea to addressing the multifaceted challenges bedeviling the continent. They said, he added that the need for mutual cooperation and reinforcement of bilateral ties were also paramount. According to him, the closed-door meeting with his South African counterpart focused on various measures to address regional security challenges. That is where I want to come in. That is exactly where I may not even, read further. I want to ask a very simple question, but all important. They said, according to him, the closed-door meeting with his South African counterpart focused on various measures to address regional security challenges. Regional security challenges. This is where my problem is. Regional security challenges. The last time I checked, Africa as a continent is not referred as regional continent. the last time I checked, it's not being referred as a regional continent. Even if you are talking about world map, the world at large, yet it is still, you may be right to say Africa is a region, African, a region, or I don't know how to put it. But the last time I checked, Africa as a continent is not being called regional continent of Africa. So when they say address regional security challenges, that means either West African region or East African region, North African region, or South African region. So now, as far as South Africa is concerned, South Africa has no, regional ties with West Africa, with a West African country. Please pay attention to this. We are not going to take time analyzing this. South Africa as a country has no regional ties with any West African country that you have to be discussing about regional security challenges. So for the zoo to travel all the way from the zoo to South Africa discussing about regional security challenges, so meaning that the zoo is calling South Africa on a neutral ground, right? Let us first of all keep Biafra, struggle, by the side, on a neutral ground, meaning that the zoo is inviting or calling or asking South African, government and its military to come and help to solve the security challenges of the West African region, because the zoo is one that went to South Africa seeking for this help. You understand? So on a plain terms now, on a neutral ground, so meaning that the zoo, as the so-called, leaders of ECOWAS, is begging South Africa to come to their aid to solve the West African regional security challenges, of which now South Africa as a nation on their own, as a country on their own, because there is no nation in Africa apart from maybe somehow Ethiopia, because they were never colonized. I believe they decided to be a nation of their own. So now, this country called South Africa have their own, security challenges on their own, even though it is not, a kind of threat that warrant them to roll out their military, because I understand that it is only in the zoo that the soldiers, the military, is out in the street. We are watching protests in Kenya, and I saw where they were debating that the court has no power, has no constitutional power to order the president to roll out the military on a civil matter, on civil matters. You understand? So they said that the only institution that has the power, the constitutional power, to instruct the president to roll out military on the street is the Senate, the House of Assembly. That is what they said, meaning that there is no, meaning that you cannot see any soldier wearing khaki uniform, military uniform, with AK-47 on the street of Kenya. What you must see there is police, not military. And I still believe that every other country in the zoo is in Africa is like that. They respect the law that military is for the, for external threat. Military is built to safeguard the territorial integrity of every nation, not for internal affairs. Police is the one trained to handle internal affairs, not in the zoo. So now, coming back to the discussion, I believe that South Africa also have their own security issues, even though it's not something that warrants military, a confrontation. So now the zoo is begging South Africa to come to their aid to solve West Africa regional security challenges. Now, this is on a plain term based on what is on your screen. Now, given that the challenges of the zoo, or the security challenges in the zoo, is even more alarming than that of other countries in West Africa. Pay attention, please. Given the situation, given the security situation in the zoo, which is more alarming than that of other countries in West Africa, that means that the zoo has no moral right or moral justification or even the opportunity to ask or request another country to come to the aid of the West African countries or West African region, because they have not been able to solve their own, security challenges inside their own country, which is the zoo. I don't know if you're paying attention. So that means that these so-called regional security challenges you see here is just a camouflage for the people, just for me and you reading and watching. It is not really the actual discussion within this during this meeting, because there is no how Musa will come out and tell us, I have discussed with my South African counterpart to supply us more weapons or give us more soldiers to confront the Biafra, secessionists. It is not possible. If you are waiting to hear that from Musa, I am sorry to disappoint you. You can never hear that. You can never see that. So that means Mohammed Musa has run to SA to ask, to beg. If you say ask, you look as if he gave them something to keep for him. To beg the SA government and its military to supply them military personnel and equipment to confront, to suppress Biafra. Because anytime you see or you hear that the zoo is purchasing weapon or purchasing any hardware whatsoever, or recruiting soldiers, I want you to understand that they are not recruiting soldiers or purchasing military hardware to confront the Boko Haram, or to confront the Al Qaeda, or to confront ISWAP, or to confront what's their names? All these terrorists in the northern part of the zoo. I want you to understand this. You must understand it today. That anytime the zoo Janjaweed is recruiting soldiers or purchasing any military hardware from any foreign country, is strictly meant to confront Biafra Liberation Army. Is strictly to confront the Biafra secessionists, according to what they call us. I want you to know that today. So Musa, based on the exploit, based on the exploit of the Biafra Liberation Army, based on the resistance of the Biafra Liberation Army and Biafra, or should I say the Biafra Defense Forces, based on the resistance and the robust strategy, the robust, strategy of the Biafra Defense Forces, based on the way we approach this struggle. We have not just made it impossible for the zoo to win the war, but we have actually defeated the zoo. I don't know if you're paying attention. We have not only made it possible for the zoo to win the war, but we have also defeated the zoo because of our strategy and our determination to succeed. We are holding the zoo from all angles in their block. We are holding them on their blockers because they can't escape what is happening or what is coming to them. And remember, we are deciding the pace of this very battle. We can't allow the zoo to decide the pace. We are deciding the pace. That is the reason why they are crying on television. Every day they go, they cry. Musa has run all the way from the zoo to the to SA, begging them for help in order to defeat Biafra. Not for Boko Haram, because you all heard what happened the other day. Because they are the ones who formed Boko Haram. They formed Al-Qaeda. They formed ISWAP. They formed all of them, including Fulani bandits. They formed all of them. They sponsor all of them. We don't have to expose that one because it's already exposed, including their politicians, their police commissioners. They have already said all. They have said it all. So, having said that, I want us to move into the next segment. Please, I want to ask you to share this very broadcast. It's very, very important. Today's date is 3rd of July, 2024, and the time right now is exactly 39 minutes past 7 p.m. here in the land of Chukwuokika-Abịama. Please, I want you to share this very broadcast, and of course, keep hitting the like button. We want more people to join this very live presentation so that we are going to work together to achieve a common goal this very evening. Very, very important, because we have a lot to discuss about, and of course concerning our struggle and Nnamdi Kanu. Now let us move into the next segment, and the first one I want us to see is this one. You all understand what happened yesterday. The South, so-called Southeast, or should I say the illegitimate governors from the Southeast geopolitical zone of the zoo, otherwise known as the hinterland of Biafra, met yesterday in Enugu State. They met yesterday in Enugu State and then had a meeting. Let us first of all listen to them and hear what they want to say. After that, we want to see what the Prime Minister said about this very meeting, and after that, we will do a brief analysis on this and then move into the next segment, because we will need to talk about some things today. And if you are here, you do not have the number of your liaison officer or admin, I will do my best this very evening to show some of the numbers from our various liaison offices all around the world. So I have promised to do that long ago, and I might squeeze it today to show it on this screen. Now let's continue. Remember that the title of this very live presentation is Our Next Line of Action. Our next line of action, as Nnamdi Kanu is said to be free, Zoo Army losing the second Biafra war. Our next line of action, that is the the title of this very broadcast. So we are going to make a pronouncement. We are going to make a pronouncement. At the very end of this very broadcast, we are going to make a pronouncement going by the title of the show, which says Our Next Line of Action, as Nnamdi Kanu is said to be free. We will make a pronouncement. So let's continue.
Where? Okay.
The communique issued today, 2nd July 2024, by the Southeast Governors Forum. The forum commiserated with the government and people of Abia State, Ebonyi, Imo State, indeed the entire Southeast region and Nigeria, and the family of Oboneono's family. The people of Oboneono's family on the demise of His Excellency Dr. Oboneono. The forum received a delegation of the former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR, Chief Emeka Anyoko, GCON, and His Royal Majesty Igwe Emeka Achebe, CFR, the Obi of Onitsha, who came on a solidarity visit to this forum.
They said they received the delegation from the former president, Obasanjo. I don't want to talk about that one because that is not the reason why I have come here this very evening. But Obasanjo has said that they never discussed about the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So, I don't want to talk about it right now. So let's continue. And I don't even have to talk about it because it's a big shame.
The forum deliberated on the report of the Southeast Security and Economic Summit held in Owerri on the 28th September 2023 and agreed to implement the aspects of the report pertaining to security and economic integration of the region, and affirmed its desire to put actionable plans on the key issues agreed. The forum
on the key issues agreed. So what are these key issues? Can we know them, please?
Resolved to visit Mr. President to discuss the pressing issues.
Okay.
All pressing issues concerning the Southeast region.
Okay.
The forum also deliberated and resolved to interface with the federal government to secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu.
Now, he said the forum also resolved to interface with the president to resolve and secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Now, I want every one of us to pay very good attention to Hope Uzodinma. First of all, let me, not mince word here. I want to make it very, very clear that this is unbelievable. You know why? Because somebody like Hope Uzodinma must not have been the one. Must not, even though Hope, listen, just pay attention, my people. Even though Hope Uzodinma happens to be the so-called, leader of Southeast Governors Forum, yet Hope Uzodinma must not have been the one to read this so-called communique? I will explain. You know why? Number one is that Hope Uzodinma and I want you to pay. I wish you come here with your pen and papers, like Nnamdi Kanu normally say. Number one is that Hope Uzodinma is the worst enemy of Nnamdi Kanu. Pay attention, my people. I'm taking us somewhere. Hope Uzodinjo, not Uzodinma. Uzodinjo is the worst enemy of Nnamdi Kanu. So that is number one. Number two, Hope Uzodinjo contributed almost half of the money. You see, Hope Uzodinjo and Nyesom Wike, these are two people who contributed the money, at least 80% of the money spent in kidnapping Nnamdi Kanu. Hope Uzodinjo, this man, you see, let me call him by his name so that he doesn't, I don't want him to think I'm talking to someone else. I'm talking to Hope Uzodinma. If he has another name, I would have added it. If I know any other of his name, I will add it. Hope Uzodinma and Nyesom Wike contributed 80% of the money used in kidnapping Nnamdi Kanu. 80%, two of them. Both the bribe received by the DOS, the bribe given to Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the bribe given to some family members of Nnamdi Kanu, including his wife, the bribe given to Kenya government, the bribe given to what was this the Kenyan aviation, the airport officers. Hope Uzodinma and Nyesom Wike contributed 80% of the whole money spent in buying off, settling off these individuals and the organizations that I have mentioned. So, for Hope Uzodinma, this same idiot, this same criminal, 419, to be the one to read out this communique, first of all, it's a big shame. Secondly, to the eyes of everyone, that means that they have succumbed, although that is not the real thing that happened. I'm coming to what happened. I'm coming to what really transpired in the meeting. So, but in the eyes of the world, based on what they have portrayed, let us just use it the way it is, the way it is being watched on television and the way it's being heard by the audio. So it is a denigration, a disgrace, a downgrade to Hope Uzodinma to be the one to read the communique that they have resolved to interface with the President Tinubu to secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu. If he is released, I will be the happiest man on earth. If Nnamdi Kanu is free today, I myself, Odinanwa, Akodenanwa, Nowea, will be the happiest man on earth. But guess what? This is never the issue. This is never the case. So let's continue. Remember what I told you, that Hope Uzodinma and Nyesom Wike contributed 80% of the money used in kidnapping Nnamdi Kanu. I want you to remember that. Write it down if you have your pen. So if Hope Uzodinma come out to read this and you believe him, do that at your own peril. Believe him at your own peril. My people, believe Hope Uzodinma at your own peril. They would have given it to somebody like Oti that still has at least small face in the eyes of the people from Abia State. At least onye ka nwere obere iru to the people of Abia, and to some extent the people of the so-called Southeast. Not everybody, but to some extent. Onye ka nwa bụ onye fakara inye ka ọ gụọ enwegodi ndị ya ege ya ntị, at least some people, very few number of people would have listened to him. Not Hope Uzodimma. No way, not Hope Uzodimma onye ori. Ọ bụrụ onye ori agwa anyị ụdị okwu anyị egele ya ntị. Never. Now, as if that is not enough, we are going to listen to him. After all the rubbish, we are going to see what the Prime Minister said, and then we will analyze it. Let's continue.
The federal government to secure the release of the pressing issues, all pressing issues concerning the Southeast region. The forum also deliberated and resolved to interface with the federal government to secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu, and the meeting adjourned whenever.
Now, I want you to focus on the ending part of this very video. Please, I'm going to show you something. I will show you what the Prime Minister said. So, but before showing you that, I want you to focus on the ending part of this video. After that, I will show you what the Prime Minister said. Then we will connect the dot. Please pay attention. Ugo belugo na mgbawu. And remember, there's a word I have told you before. There's a word I have told you before that I got information sometime in the past, few months ago. I got authentic information. I said authentic information that these vultures gathered somewhere in Enugu State, in Owerri, secretly. That one, they didn't announce it. They gathered somewhere in Owerri, including some top members of Ohanes and Dioshi. They had closed-door meetings, secret meeting, not even closed-door meeting, secret meeting, without media, no, nothing. Then they agreed not to speak again. Listen, this thing I'm telling you has taken is more than 6 months now. This thing happened early this year, around January. They agreed not to speak again in the public about Simon Ekpa, Biafra agitation, or sit at home. They said, including some members of senators, they're also there. Some members, including Fanyoba, also was there. They agreed, including this man called, what's the name? That green snake in green grass called Iberibe. They all gathered and agreed not to speak again about sit at home, Biafra agitation, Nnamdi Kanu, and Simon Ekpa in the public. According to them, they say, let us speak less and do more. That was the title, the headline, not headline on the news, the headline, the title of that very meeting. Let us speak less and do more, so that they don't know what is in our mind. And do you know the agenda? The agenda was to look for a way, whether by crook or by, can somebody help me? I want to know how to use that word, whether by crook or by what? By somebody help me in the comment section, please. I want to use that word because that is what they use. That is the word they used. There's this word they normally say, whether by crook or by, I want to remember the last one or the first one before by crook. There's a word in between. They say whether by crook or by that one. If you whether by hook or by crook. Thank you, my people. Thank you so much. AFB Global. Thank you. So thank you, Obina. Thank you, Oni. Thank you, Tonex. Thank you all. They say whether by hook or by crook, we are going to get Simon Ekpa. That was the reason of that meeting. and they all agreed together to speak less and act more. Let us speak less and act more. That was the end of that meeting. And I have told you before, I said it either once or twice. They agreed to get the prime minister, whether by hook or by crook. That is what happened. Now, since then, since that January, this thing happened. I also told the prime minister about this. He told me that he's aware of their plan. Since then till today, they have till yesterday, they have never spoken about sit at home. They have never spoken about the prime minister. They have never spoken about Nnamdi Kanu. They have never spoken about Biafra. None of them, whether in group or by individual, none of them, I want you to quote me wrong, none of them has ever spoken about anything that has to do with Biafra since January until yesterday. They gave themselves 6 good months. 6 good months. And they all failed. And within these 6 months, they also sent kidnappers to Finland. They failed. They sent suicide bombers to Finland. They failed. They didn't enter. According to the information reaching our prime minister, he let us know that they were stopped at Denmark. They didn't enter Finland. And then they have to go back to the zoo. And the people who sent them, they work hand in hand with the Zoo Janjaweed military. The army now brought members of Boko Haram, asked them to go and, commit suicide in Finland. But they were not allowed to enter. So now they have done everything they could based on their initial plan, and everything failed. Then they came back yesterday to re-strategize. And remember, the other meeting they had, the last meeting they had last year, 2023, not the last meeting, the first meeting they had, 2023, last year, after the selection of these new criminals, the likes of Peter Mba, OT, and we threw them. After the selection of these crooks, now they had meeting and they resolved that they are going to go to Abuja and discuss with the president in order to release Nnamdi Kanu. They said it only for us to have information, not even have information, only for one of them to call Mazi Simon Ekpa on phone and told him that, look, we are going to Abuja to bring the hardened military personnel and more hard ways to finish your men. So the earlier you ask them to drop their arms, the better for you. That was the threat. We don't know how they managed to reach the prime minister, whether they call him on phone or because he didn't tell us how they reach him. He never told us. But he told us that one of them reached out to him personally and told him that, look, we are going to Abuja to get more personnel, military personnel, and hard way, and finish up we are going to finish your men. So you better tell them to lay down their arms. You see that? So now that means that thing they told us in the public on television, that they are going to Abuja to ask Mr. President to release Nnamdi Kanu, was fake. It was a fake. It was a fake. And they didn't do anything. They never did anything after that meeting last year. They never done anything. Yes. They went to Abuja. The next thing we saw was military hardware moving down to Imo State, moving down to Anambra State, fighter jet everywhere. The next few days, they were bombarding everywhere. that is when they bombed the second, that is when they threw the second, how do I put it? That is when they bombed that market in Imo State for the second time. Remember, they bombed it the first time when Nnamdi Kanu was free. Now, after that, they are meeting. They bombed that market for the second time. Can somebody remind me the name of that historic market in Imo State? Can somebody remind me the name of that market bombed by the military? They have bombed that market for the second time now, last year. That historic market in Imo State. Something Otutu there. Something Otutu. I think it's Ekotutu, yeah. Thank you, Ekotutu. That is when they bombed that market for the second time. After that meeting, now, I want you to pay attention to the last word of Hope Uzodimma. Just pay attention. From there, we'll see what the Prime Minister said, and then we'll connect the dots. Pay attention, please.
And the meeting adjourned whenever.
Whenever. Now, let's listen to that again, and then we move.
And the meeting adjourned whenever. Thank you.
And then he laughed. Did you pay attention to that? You know, we watch, we listen, and we analyze deeply. Even before we speak, we analyze it already. I want you to pay very good attention to the ending part of this video. And then I will show you what the Prime Minister said. Please keep liking this broadcast and keep sharing it. I want every Biafran to participate on this very broadcast. It's very, very important, because at the end of this very broadcast, we are going to make a pronouncement. Remember that the headline says, our next line of action as Nnamdi Kanu is set to be free. Our next line of action, as Nnamdi Kanu is set to be free. So we are here to make a pronouncement this evening. So everybody must pay very good attention. Now, let us listen to the very ending part of this broadcast. We will see what the Prime Minister said. We'll connect the dot before we move into the next segment of this very broadcast. Now, let us listen to him for the very last time.
Nnamdi Kanu. First, with the federal government to secure the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And the meeting adjourned whenever. Thank you.
Did you see that? I don't know if I can see the video, the one that their face is very, very full, the one that their face is shown. I don't know if I can see the video, that video. There's the other one that their face is shown fully, not from afar. The other video was taken from close range. If I can see the video, so that I want us to see how Hope Uzodimma laughed and made jest of himself and what he said. He thought he's making jest of us, or he's making jest of Nnamdi Kanu. I want us to see how Hope Uzodimma made jest of himself and what he said. How he indirectly told the whole world that do not listen to what I'm saying. Pay attention, my people, because when we listen to what Mazi Samanekpa said concerning this development, then we are going to connect the dot in order for us to understand the meaning of what Hope Uzodimma did at the very, very, very end of his speech. You understand now? He showed, or he told everybody, look, listen to what I said at your own peril. Listen, just pay attention. Just pay very, very good attention. This is very, very important. I want to bring the other video very, very close to the screen for you to see how Hope Uzodinma made jest of himself. And then I will show you what the Prime Minister said will now connect the dot. This is very, very, very important because a lot of people are not paying attention to this. A lot of people are not paying attention to this. I have watched some videos online. People are analyzing it. They are analyzing it. They are saying all sorts of things. They are jubilating. The governors have done very, very good. They have come out, to fight for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And some people who are doing this analysis are also Biafrans. They are also Biafrans. Yes, I think I've seen the video here. Very, very important. Yes, I've seen the video. So now I want us to see from a close range shot how Hope Uzodinma made jest of himself, thinking that he's confusing the gullible. After showing you that, we will now see what the Prime Minister said, and then we will analyze it properly. We're not going to take your time. We are going to analyze it properly to understand what is going on. Anybody taking these criminals seriously, then you are deceiving yourself. You are just wallowing in periphery. I'm telling you, you are deceiving yourself. You don't even understand what is going on. Now, I want us to watch this. Pay very good attention. This is a video shot from close range. See what Hope Uzodinma did here.
And agreed to implement the aspects of the report pertaining to security and economic integration of the region.
No, Hope Uzodinma did not laugh here. He didn't laugh here.
So deliberated and resolved to interface with the federal government.
No, he didn't laugh here. Okay, no need, no problem about that. Now, what are we trying to say? Let me show you the response or the reaction from the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and after that, we will come back. We will now connect the dots. Remember his last word, and the meeting adjourned whenever. That is on seriousness. I want you to hold that. I want you to hold it. That is on seriousness. That has literally rendered every single thing that he said useless. Pay attention, my people. Very, very important. He said, and the meeting adjourned whenever. He laughed. Right? Meaning that, take what I have said, take what I have said seriously at your own peril. That is exactly what Hope Uzodinma means. And then that brings us to another question. So, if that be the case, what have they gone there to do? If that be the case, what have they gone there to do? If Hope Uzodinma laughed, smiled, and said the meeting adjourned till whenever, meaning take what I have said for serious at your own peril. Now, so the question is, what was the meeting all about? Now, according to what the Prime Minister said, he said, Intel, let it be on record that the meeting these criminals did in Enugu State has nothing to do with the release of Nnamdi Kanu. It was about sending suicide bombers to Finland for the 5th time. Are you paying attention, my people? Are you going to doubt it? Will you doubt it? Will you doubt it? Doubt it at your own peril. He said, let it be on record that the meeting held in Enugu State by these criminals has absolutely nothing to do with the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And you know what? It is not a new thing. That's why we can never doubt this intel. They have had this similar meeting before last year. At least the one we see in the public, apart from the one they did secretly, which they concluded to speak less and act more. Apart from that one, which happened January this year, they have had other they have had a similar meeting to this in Enugu State at the Lion House, Enugu State. We all know that. We all saw it last year. They said they will go to Abuja to meet president to release Nnamdi Kanu. And then the next thing we saw was military hardware moving down to the east. The next thing we saw, Ekotutu was bombed for the second time. The next thing we saw, Soludo began to make noise, bragging and, making noise. How he's going to do this and do that. Because of what? They have given them more manpower, which is the military hardware and more military personnel. So if they tell you we are going to interface with the federal government to release, it's a lie. Look at the sole target here. Remember, I have told you, they said, we will bring him whether by hook or by crook. That is the same thing they did to Nnamdi Kanu. And they succeeded in Nnamdi Kanu because Nnamdi Kanu is a very, no matter he's a very, strong person, but he has a very, very soft heart. You don't know. Nnamdi Kanu has a very, very soft heart. Nnamdi Kanu cannot even hurt a fly. Nnamdi Kanu cannot hurt a fly. Therefore, he trusted almost everybody who came close to him. He trusted almost everybody. And he never done anything without even contacting all those criminals around him then. That's why they told him somebody's coming, somebody a high profile United Nations personnel is coming to discuss with you in Kenya. And he agreed. He never knew that the high profile United Nations personnel who was coming to have a discussion with him over Biafra was the DSS in collaboration with Kenya government and their security personnel. So that is why they got him. Unlike Mazi Simon Ekpa, who is also a military man, who served Finnish military. You understand? So they are not in the same form, in the same category. And again, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, another reason they got Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen, and he couldn't have done what he wanted to do, and do it while he is in a safe place in Britain, in United Kingdom. He couldn't have done it successfully in the UK. It's not possible because UK is milking the zoo. UK is milking the zoo, and you still want to be in their land to stop them from making the zoo. It's not going to happen. Rather, they will still break the international law the same way the zoo broke it and make sure that they silence you. That is what happened. That's why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had to leave UK, because his security was never guaranteed in the United Kingdom as a United Kingdom citizen, fighting to break up the zoo. It's not going to happen. So now, that is the reason why these are the factors, the things that played key role in the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Simon Ekpa is not like that. Mazi Simon Ekpa is a Finnish citizen, and Finland is under European Union. They understand what freedom fight is all about. And now the UK, which is the link the zoo have to Europe, the link the zoo government has to the European Union is United Kingdom. And now United Kingdom has shot themselves in the foot by exiting the United Kingdom. And they did not exit, with clean heart. they exited the European Union when the European Union was even begging them not to leave. But they left because they believe that other small countries in European Union are not contributing much. So they are contributing money to fund other European Union, other small European countries. That's why they cannot continue. They left. They begged them, they never agreed, they left. So now the other countries in European Union are not even happy with the United Kingdom. A lot of people are not aware of this. They are not happy with the UK because of the way UK left the European Union, and there is no going back. UK can never go back to European Union because of Biafra. It is not possible. So now that link has been broken completely. UK cannot speak to Germany. UK cannot speak to France. UK cannot speak to Finland. It is finished. Anybody thinking that there's any possibility the zoo to rendition Samonepa to the zoo, it is done and dusted. That the rope has been broken. There is nothing. That is the reason why they are strategizing. They are running helter-skelter because the only link they have is UK, and UK cannot speak to any of these countries. I don't know if you're paying attention. Akawola. Anyị agbajiela fa aka. Anyị agbajigo zoo. Anyị apewago zoo azụ. Anyị pewalu zoo azụ. Somebody said I'm watching from Finland. Please, can you confirm what I'm saying? That Brambaz said I'm watching from Finland. Can you confirm what I'm saying? I piawalu zoo azo completely is finished for the zoo. Aka will go fanisi. Oku di over. Oku di zoo and you go completely. Now you see, so there is no connection. The only connection they had is broken completely. That's why they are sending suicide bombers. They are sending kidnappers. They are looking for a way to lay their filthy hands on Mazi Samonepa. But it's not going to happen. It's not possible. Because of what? The UK is completely crippled. Their hands are tied. No way. There is no space for deliberation, no space for lobbying. They can't lobby any country in European Union as it stands today. It's finished for them. Done and dusted, Mobloko one criminal. You see? So when you hear, we are negotiating, we are going to Abuja to negotiate with the Mr. President, they are not done yet. These people believe that they have army, they have police, they have guns, they have everything. They are not done yet. They have armor tank, they have private jet. They are not done yet. We know when they will be. We know. Let me tell you the truth. We know when these people will be tired. They believe they are the government. They believe that they are the government. So we know when they will be tired. That's why we are not in a hurry. We are not in a rush. You see what we did? We have sat down and reasoned what is our problem. We have seen our problem. We sat down again and asked, how do we deal with this problem? We have found out, we have fashioned a way, we have built a mechanism to fight our problem. And that is what we are doing. We are hitting the hammer on top of the nail, directly on top of the nail. So we are tackling our problem. That very problem, that very sickness is what we are drinking medicine for. We are taking injection for that particular sickness. We are not doing experiment. We have done experiment during IPOB regime, during IPOB one family of a 10. Now we have sat down after the rendition of Nnamdi Kanu. We asked ourselves, what is really our problem? We are shouting Biafra, Biafra, freedom, 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 IPOB one family. What do we really want? We sat down. We said, okay, this is our I join your committee. Where chopote eben sobu ani si where the eben sobu ani no. I was okay, so this is our problem. Let us minimize every other thing. Kai fight Kennedy's problem. That's why I tell everybody, look, we have men on ground. Men are there. In thousands, we have men. If I need funding, steady funding, now pump go. If this man need equipment, can we tackle our problem? We have singled out our problem. We don't care about other side distractions. We have singled out our problem and we are tackling that problem head on. And because we have noticed our problem and we are fighting that singular problem, that is the reason why you see all these escalations. You see everybody, all of them running helter skelter. Muhammad Musa has run to South Africa begging for help, because we have noticed our problem and we are tackling that very problem. That is what we are fighting. Not to be shouting, one family, IPOB, one family, Biafra, give us Biafra, all we are saying. Nobody gives you Biafra. Because we have taken our time to study where our problem is, and we are tackling that very problem. Now, having shown you that these people gathered in Enugu State for nothing but to, re-strategize and find another way to deal with Mazi Simon Ekpa, not for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Having shown you all this, remember, Hope Uzodimma said, meeting adjourned till whenever, and he laughed, meaning, take what I have said seriously at your own peril. Now let me show you something else. Let me show you now something else. We are moving into the next segment of this very broadcast, and I want you to do the needful. If you are just joining me, in total, we have almost 1,300 people watching this broadcast. So if you know that you haven't done the needful, you haven't liked the broadcast, you haven't shared the broadcast, please take your time and do so while I bring the next thing we are going to discuss to the screen. Take your time and do so. Like the broadcast, share it, take your time and do so. Wherever you're watching from, let me use this medium to bring the next thing we are going to discuss to the screen. Now, remember the title. Remember the headline of this very broadcast. The headline says, our next line of action as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is set to be free. Our next line of action. So we are going to make a declaration. At the very end of this very broadcast, we are going to make a declaration. Very, very important. Very, 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 very absolutely important. Because you can see now they are gathering. They are now gathering. The vultures are gathering. The hyenas are gathering. They want to confuse us. But we are letting them know that we can never be confused. There is no chance. No chance at all. We can't be confused. You cannot confuse us. You cannot play politics with our freedom. You understand me? So, we cannot allow you to play politics with our freedom. Now they are gathering. Let us first of all listen to what this buffoon said.
In his incarceration, the Southeast Senate caucus, just like the rest of the members of the Southeast, put the business leaders, the clergy, the political people, and everybody in the South are all very worried about it, knowing that that has been the fulcrum, I would say, for what is going on in the Southeast regarding the insecurity. All the criminals and all the people going around causing mayhem in the Southeast have all said that it is because Nnamdi Kanu is being held. We know that this is not the truth. It's just that we have gotten to the point where people are now hijacking a legitimate call for his release. And
he said his legitimate call. His legitimate call. So, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was fighting a legitimate fight. He was making a legitimate call. Senator Baribe, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was actually making a legitimate call, according to you. And this man is there. Look at this evil man here. I don't know. Let me even check the studio. Let me look from the studio and see if their faces are showing. Okay, their faces are showing from the studio. So this evil man here called what's his name? Victor Ume. This evil man, Victor Ume, who also attacked Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Who attacked Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? This evil man. Had it been I knew from beginning that I was going to talk about this evil man, I would have made a research. I would have find that very video, not even one video. I would have found some of his videos where he was attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, attacking IPOB and Biafra movement. This evil man who serves under the party formed by the Biafra eternal leader. Victim. And you are here, Abaribe, with this evil man saying that criminals have hijacked a legitimate call of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Abaribe, you're a senator serving the zoo from Igbo extraction. Are you telling me you were not aware when vultures like you were gathering for the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Are you not aware when Ifeanyi Ejiofor, are you not aware? Are you not among those making meeting upon meeting with Ifeanyi Ejiofor for the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? And Ifeanyi Ejiofor was giving updates to the criminals in the DOS that China Sanwo-Olu came out in the public and told us, go and ask Ifeanyi Ejiofor that the governors told him that they are, that they are closing in. Is it closing in or closing on or closing up on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Are you not aware? Are you not there? Were you not there? A senator, were you not there? Are you not among the people that told Ifeanyi Ejiofor that they were getting close to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya? Are you not aware? Ifeanyi Ejiofor told the DOS, China Sanwo-Olu announced it on Radio Biafra after the kidnap. Not before, after the kidnap. Are you not aware? Even Ifeanyi Ejiofor told us on camera, on an interview with, what's the name of that young man, that guy that interviewed Ifeanyi Ejiofor on YouTube? Can somebody remind me the name of that guy? Thank you. Rounding up on MNK. Thank you. I've gotten some few correction here. Njenje. They said his name is Emi South. Thank you. Emi Sami, thank you. Njenje. He said his name is Njenje. That one Nigerian man. Are you not aware when Ifeanyi Ejiofor told Njenje that they are having high-profile meeting? That he and some stakeholders, he called them stakeholders, stakeholders, critical stakeholders, all these political igwe and criminal governors and senators, they are called stakeholders, criminals. Anybody you see they call stakeholder is a criminal, is a thief. I'm telling you, if you are listening to me now and you are among stakeholders in Alibo, you're a thief. You're a thief. That is how we have been deceived. They call them critical stakeholders. Thieves. Ndiori. Criminals. That is who they are. Anybody telling you that he or she is a stakeholder is a thief. I'm telling you the truth. Ifa Junejofor told us on live camera that they are having meetings with critical stakeholders against Nnamdi Kanu. He didn't use that word against Nnamdi Kanu, but we know because he was talking about the unknown gunmen. And remember that the belief of everybody that time was Nnamdi Kanu and Eastern Security Network were behind unknown gunmen. You see that? That was the belief of everybody. Until they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, unknown gunmen continued. Now, everybody is now, everybody is now jumping up and they don't know what to do again. So who was behind unknown gunmen? You see, that is the problem. So are you not aware? When we were told that they were having meeting with critical stakeholders, thieves who are criminals like you, that looking for a way to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu, and he still came back and told us that they are rounding up on Nnamdi Kanu. And today, Nnamdi Kanu has become a saint, and his agitation, his legitimate call, his legitimate Honestly, I don't really know what happened. I don't know what happened. Can you hear my voice now? Please let me know. I believe my voice is coming out now. Please let me know if you can hear me from your end. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a network issue or if it was what. I don't know. If you can hear me from your end, please let me know. Very, very important. It's quite unfortunate. I don't know what happened. I can't even tell if it was a network or what. I don't know. Okay, we have to continue no matter what happened. We have to continue, of course. We cannot stop. So now let's listen to him. Let's continue listening to him, please.
Turning it into something that has led to deaths and destruction of properties and so many other undescribable mayhem that is going on in the Southeast. And so we came to meet with the Minister of Justice and Attorney General because we know that at the end of the day, everything that happens in the political, in the legal scheme will eventually come to his office. And we came to appeal to him to help us to let Mr. President know that all leaders of the Southeast feel that the release of Nnamdi Kanu will help in dousing all the tensions and everything that is going on in the Southeast. And we are very, very certain that his duty as the Attorney General also gives him the powers of nolle prosequi, the powers of making sure that litigation don't continue and the sufferings of the people of the Southeast continue. That is the essence of why we came here. And I think you know also, I think it's also clear that several different groups in the Southeast, including the Southeast Governors List, have all been making exactly the same type of plea. We think that
remain adamant that he probably is not going to allow this. He said the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. That clearly indicates that he's not going to relent in his push to silence any voice of dissenting as far as that position is concerned. So which way forward to heal the divide between or amongst the Nigerians, especially on Biafra crisis?
I think the best thing is to ask them what they want. I remember one time Professor Wole Soyinka said, if we can continue fighting Biafrans for such a long time, it's not long before we go to war, which is actually happening right now. Why don't we ask them what they want? And for sure they have voiced and they have said it, that they want referendum. Why? Because for a long time, they do not have a mutual understanding with the rest of the Nigeria nation. They are not understood. They are marginalized for such a long time. They are not wanted by the rest of the Nigerian government. So the best thing is to take them to a referendum so that we know exactly what they want and separate them if that is exactly what they want. Why? Because if we continue like this, these are crises not only in Nigeria, but it will have a ripple effect to the bordering countries. And with time, it will have a big effect to the African countries. As I'm talking, Africa has the largest immigrants to the world. It has the largest refugees to the rest of the continents. Why is that so? It's because of such crises that we can see in Biafra and Amazonia and other countries like Sudan. So I think before we even move forward, it's very important that we give or they're given referendum. From there, they can be able to sort out the rest of the challenges. And it's quite unfortunate because we have diplomatic missions in Nigeria. Why can't they take that issue with them and sort it out? Why are they quiet? Why is the world quiet when Biafrans are suffering? Why is the world quiet when we know very well that such issues can affect the whole of the African continent? It's quite sad, and that's why as Punchline Africa TV will continue talking to the world and saying that these people need a referendum. They're not needed. If you don't need me in your space, give me what I want so that I can self-govern myself, which I think it's a good way and a diplomatic way of allowing people to go their way.
That would be cool. Coupled with that, I would like you to approach it from a different angle altogether. What probably could have informed this agitation for, of course, separation, for a referendum to go separate ways between, of course, Nigeria and the people of Biafra? Let's approach it from that angle, as you and ask ourselves, what probably can we do to see into it that we find a healing in this divide?
Yeah, I think it's paramount to understand that for starters, there was no redemption, and the word you just used, healing, from the first Biafran crisis in 1967, to the 3 years fighting. And if you remember very well, there was a brief period where they got their independence, and then the Nigerian military decided to send all the planes to just bomb indiscriminately anybody who was found in that region. And those scars are passed on in what is called transgenerational trauma. You don't even have to tell your child about this. It's the same thing that affects most African countries. You don't really need to tell your child, hate this person or hate this person, but the way you behave and the way you talk about these things and the tone with which you use, your children pick that, and then they grow up with that. They send it to their children and their children's children, and each generation comes forth understanding their history and knowing very well that we are the people who have been marginalized in a country where we are one of the most, we are creating profit. We're bringing GDP, one of the highest rates of GDP. We're bringing the largest group of intelligent people. We're bringing the largest group of talented people. And yet we are the people who are not benefiting from all this. And this crisis goes on in most of the countries that we are finding, we are finding, in the African continent with protests currently like Amazonia and Ethiopia. If you bring in another angle of how the Nigerian government has been dealing with this agitation, I believe, or I think, if they were to avoid the situation that they're finding themselves in, they really should have addressed the issue of why there was a Biafran war. There was a Biafran war, rather, in the first place. As it is, they are taking the Paul Biya approach of assuming everything is fine because we're in Lagos, while everything is not fine. People continue to die. You continue to apply the colonial methodology of handling protests, and that is arresting people arbitrarily, disappearing people arbitrarily. For a very long time, we don't know where Nnamdi Kanu is. That should not happen in this day and age. For a very long time, I don't know how many Biafrans have disappeared, how many have run from their homes, fearing persecution or fearing death. And that is a very old, very archaic way of dealing with these protests. Most of these African governments could have benefited and could have avoided this crisis if they came forth and asked the people, what is it we can do for you? Where did we go wrong? How can we institute healing to begin in the Biafran region to start with? How can we make sure that we set up, even if it's a ministry, or talk to the Ministry of Devolution, because Nigeria was one of the countries that started the federal system in Africa, and yet you have people with no roads. It makes zero sense, and that is a very it's a very bad conviction on devolution in Africa. So as it is, I think the onus is on the Nigerian government, first of all, to understand why there was a Biafran.
All right. It's quite unfortunate. Can you hear me? Please let me know if my voice is coming out. It's quite unfortunate. It's not a new thing. It's not a new thing. These are one of the reasons we must be free from the damnable zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. I told you that the only way to maximize your potential is only when you are free. That is the only way you can maximize your potential. Only when you are free. Not under the zoological Republic of Animal more kingdom Nigeria, not under captivity. You can see what we are passing through. Ordinary network. Ordinary network. Ordinary network. Mad people everywhere. Please let me know if you can hear my voice from your location. If you know anyone who has left already, bring them back here. We must continue. We must finish this program and we must send that very all-important message. We must make that very declaration this very evening on our next line of action. You already know it. It's already out there. It has been pronounced long ago, but we are going to reaffirm it. We are going to reiterate. Yes, that is the only way out. Freedom. And they must know that we cannot be stopped. We are moving faster than even metro. We are moving faster than underground train. No one can stop us. Now we have to continue. Let me bring back the video so that we continue. We must finish the broadcast. I finish this broadcast. Now it's the Bible. If I will be Siabo. Mad people everywhere. Let's continue.
The point where people are now hijacking a legitimate call for his release and turning it into something that has led to deaths and destruction of properties and so many other undescribable mayhem that's going on in the Southeast. And so we came to meet with the Minister of Justice and Attorney General because we know that at the end of the day, everything that happens in the political, in the legal scheme will eventually come to his office. And we came to appeal to him to help us.
He said they came to appeal to him. To who? To Fagbemi. Fagbemi who? The so-called Attorney General of the Federation. Fagbemi who? Somebody Fagbemi. Can you help me with his full name? I don't even think if it's necessary. They came to appeal to the so-called Attorney General of the Federation. Appeal. You came to appeal to Attorney General of the Federation over what? Over a case that has been discharged at the appeal court of the zoo, at the court of competent jurisdiction. And the same court said that it has prohibited. I don't know if they listen to that judgment. The same appeal court, the second highest court of the zoo, prohibited any other court of trying Nnamdi Kanu. Prohibited. Do you want us to begin to, to look for the definition of prohibition? Do we have to start asking the definition of prohibition? Don't you know the meaning? When appeal court prohibit any other, including the Supreme Court that they went to appeal for the judgment of the appeal court. No be juju be that. The appeal court prohibited any other court from trying Nnamdi Kanu. So whether they did a stay of execution and they rushed to appeal to Supreme Court to appeal the appeal court judgment, that is medicine after death. The appeal court has said no court has the legal jurisdiction to try Nnamdi Kanu as far as Nigeria is concerned. And that is final. You went to appeal Fagbemi. Fagbemi who, by the way? What is the full name of that Mumu man? Fagbemi who? The Mumu Attorney General. Fagbemi who? You went to appeal to him to free Nnamdi Kanu, a free man. Listen and listen very, very attentively. We all want the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But let me tell you, we are not going to beg for his release. We are appealing to nobody. We appeal to no one. We all want Nnamdi Kanu free. But we don't want to, we can never beg for his freedom. I said this thing long ago, many years ago, since 2021, after the rendition. I said that we cannot beg for his release, because if we ever beg for his release, then we will give the zoo the upper hand. We will give them the upper hand to decide what they want to do. So we will fight, and they will call for his release and for negotiation, not we. So thank God, if the senators, the governors are appealing to the president, so they are one, they are together, they are all government officials, so they are appealing to each other, to them within themselves. Nnamdi Kanu has never appealed, and the government of Biafra in exile has never appealed. Now, let us continue.
To let Mr. President know that all leaders of the Southeast feel that the release of Nnamdi Kanu will help in dousing all the tensions and everything that is going on in the Southeast. And we are very, very certain that his duty as the Attorney General also gives him the powers of nolle prosequi, the powers of making sure that litigation don't continue and the sufferings of the people of the Southeast continue. That is the essence of why we came here. And I think you know also, I think it's also clear that several different groups in the Southeast, including the Southeast Governors List, have all been making exactly the same type of plea. We think that this will help us to bring to an end.
I have said it before, and I want to repeat it once again. You can never, ever beg your way to freedom. Latif Fagbemi, thank you, Jamima. Thank you for reminding me the name of that Enwe. Latif Fagbemi, I have said it before, and I'm repeating it again. You can never beg your way to freedom. Nobody begs his or her way out of slavery or bondage. You fight for it. You fight your way to freedom. That is the only word. It has no double. It has no double. That is how it is.
All the insecurity
as this caucus met with Mr. Kanu to know whether he will be willing to accept either conditional release or not.
Yes,
did you hear the question? The journalist asked him, sir, has this caucus, this Senate caucus, this Southeast Senate caucus, met with Nnamdi Kanu to know if he's going to accept any condition given to him by the federal government for his release? Now, Senator Baribe responded. He said, yes. Now, let's hear him.
Either conditional release or not.
Yes, on behalf of I met with Nnamdi Kanu myself on behalf of the rest of the caucus on Monday. Today is Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
We met with him between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Monday, and he
said they made they met Nnamdi Kanu. I am not yet receiving calls, please. There's no need of calling me at this very point in time. I am not yet receiving calls, please hold on. By the time the line will be open, I will tell you. He said, yes, that they met Nnamdi Kanu. He said that they met Nnamdi Kanu on Monday. And today is Wednesday. This is today. This one is happening today. He said they met on Wednesday, on Monday. And what happened? Senator Bariba.
2 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Monday. And he is very, very supportive of this, our plea to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Maybe last is that you are is a Swaki.
Did you hear what he said? I think that is the main point here. We have arrived. We have arrived. And the time we are going to state our stand is now. Somebody said he sent me Aloy Jimako's tweet over what this criminal is saying. Okay, I'm going to check it. I've not checked. I've not seen Aloy Jimako's tweet, but I'm going to check. Now, the time we are going to make our stand known, once again, we have said it before, we have said it repeatedly, but we are going to redeclare it again and reaffirm it again and reiterate it again. Yes, it has come. The question was asked to Abaribe. Has the Southeast Senate Caucus met with Nnamdi Kanu to know his own stand if he's going to accept any? He said, let me repeat it. He said, any condition that the federal government might decide to give. And this man said yes. That they met, that his yes, it does not mean that Nnamdi Kanu has said yes, he's going to accept any. I want you to understand this, right? That his yes, the first thing he answered was yes. But that his yes, to my own understanding, is the response to the question, have you met? Has the Southeast Senate Caucus met with Nnamdi Kanu? So that yes is yes, we have met him. That is the response. The yes is not that yes, Nnamdi Kanu will accept conditions from the zoo. That is not the meaning. That is not the direct response. No, the yes is yes, we have met him. That one has to be, corrected. Now, he also said that Nnamdi Kanu is in support of their plea. That is what he said, that Nnamdi Kanu is in support of their plea to the federal government for his release. Are you paying attention, my people? Let's listen to him again.
Today is Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
We met with him between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Monday, and he is very half of it. I met with Nnamdi Kanu myself to bring to an end all the insecurity problems.
As this caucus met with Mr. Kanu to know whether he will be willing to accept either conditional release or not.
Yes, on behalf of I met with Nnamdi Kanu myself.
You see that? He said yes on behalf of on behalf of the caucus, that he met Nnamdi Kanu himself on behalf of the caucus, Southeast Senate Caucus. So let's hear him.
On behalf of the rest of the caucus, on Monday, today is Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
We met with him between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Monday, and he is very, very supportive of this, our plea to the President of the Federal Republic.
On a bonye choi toase, onye choi toase, ona atafiono. If Roto Sekuku, he started stammering, because when you want to lie, you start stammering. You cannot be straightforward again. Now, let me tell you, my people. He said Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in support, listen, in support of their move to plead to the federal government for his release. Were you expecting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to say, no, I don't support you, don't go and ask for my release? Are you really, like, seriously, are you expecting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to say, no, nobody should go and ask for my release? He can never say anything like that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will always support anything that anybody can do to see his release. But let me explain something to you, my people. These people do not understand who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is, number one. And number two, let me explain something to you today. There's a problem. I have never said this in the public before, but I'm going to say it today because of the nature of this very broadcast that I'm making right now. It is very, very imperative that I say this. Listen, my people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, of course, wants to be released. But there is something in between. Something is here. Something is here. People are not paying attention to what is in between. Should I continue with this? Should I? Do I have to? Or should I just leave it? Should I just lie low? All right. Let me just kamboye nkenke. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wants to be released. For sure. No doubt about that. No doubt about that whatsoever. Now, do you know what happened? Do you really know what is going on? These people, since 2021, these people have been asking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to accept political solution out of court settlement for his release, not unconditional, for his immediate release. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, no, I don't want political solution. Now, I'm not going to say everything. Now, the Biafra Republic government in exile has decided to take the bull by its horn, not to allow the zoo to have its way on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. Now, for the fact that we have intensified the fight for the freedom of the Biafran people, then it has made these people that you see today, the people like senators, governors, and other criminal politicians or so-called political elites from the, from Biafra land or from Igbo extraction, uncomfortable. Listen and listen very good. But the activities of the Biafra Republic government in exile, which is the fight for freedom, has completely made these people uncomfortable, that they can no longer breathe. I want to ask a question, and I need the answer from the comment section. If you are an Igbo person listening to me right now, I want to ask you a question. In Igbo land, in Igbo culture, listen and listen very good. In Igbo culture, is it possible, irrespective of your age, is it possible that a man makes money without going to the village to do a makwandiaibo, igamempompo? Onwere any Igbo man ya akpata ego n'ụwa ebe ọ sọkwa gị bili? Onwere any Igbo man nwere ike ịkpata ego n'ụwa na man like ịga village ga mempompo? Is there any man that will make money? You are in maybe you are in Lagos, you are in Abuja, you are in Calabar, you are in wherever, but you are no longer in your village. You have left your village and traveled to the city and make money in city. Will you not like to travel to the village with your car, with your beautiful car, to do a Mokwandiaibo as an Igbo man? Is that possible? Is there any human being from Igbo land? Because I'm talking about our culture. I'm talking about our culture. There is no any Igbo man, no matter your age, even if you are 60 years, 65 years, 70, as long as you have money, you have made it, you are rich, and you don't live in the village, it is an honor to you as an Igbo man to go to your village with your beautiful car to do Makwanda, at least a hell or gay. That is the dream of every Igbo man who travels abroad to look for greener pasture. That is our dream. That's why we say Akuru na Malundi Nwea. Now, do you know what the Biafra government has managed to do to all these Umuokoke for now masters in a television na kuinyo nekufiale? We have made it impossible for all these criminals not to enjoy that thing that made them to start looking for money, to get money, whether through hook or crook, whichever way, that made them steal the public fund. We deny that we made them not to enjoy that Igbo tradition that says when you go out there to make money, you must come back to do mpompo na Igbo. These criminals can no longer enjoy that very benefit. And it is a big mess as far as they are concerned. It's a very big mess. I don't know if I'm paying attention. It is a heavy burden that these criminals can no longer freely come to their villages and do mpompo as usual, as an Igbo man, as tradition demands. They can't do it anymore. For the past 3 good years, they have not done it. And they are not comfortable with that. Now, let me go back to what I was saying. Having explained this, it is a big pressure on them. That is number one. Then, by the time they were pressurizing Nnamdi Kanu to accept political solution since 2021, from the late Mbazulika Amechi to the late Okwadike Ezife, and now the to the late what's the name of that former Hanese President General Ojojo Biozo, to the current Iwanyanwu, and to all of these politicians, including Ifeanyi Uba and all of them, because their plan was not to since Nnamdi Kanu was brought back to the zoo, their plan was not to buy him. Since they didn't manage to buy him in Kenya, the plan was not to buy him in the zoo. The plan was to suffocate him, suffer him so much, so that he will be able to give up the struggle. Or they will forget about him in the dungeon. After all, nobody is coming for him. They have bought over the DOS, who should have, made everywhere ungovernable for them. They bought them over, so everywhere is calm. Let's just forget about him in the dungeon there. That was the plan. Now, since another people who refused to be bought over sprang up and began to do the needful, what was supposed to be done, they began to do it. They say, no, we failed. We failed on this very, project. They began to find a way to force Nnamdi Kanu to accept political solution. Now, that one failed. As that one failed, what these people are interested in doing right now, pay attention, my people. All these politicians from the East are now interested in securing Nnamdi Kanu's release, at least to end Monday sit at home, and then to end whatever they call insecurity in the East. That is their main target at the moment, because they know that Nnamdi Kanu cannot accept to drop the Biafra agitation. Listen, very, very important, my people. Very, very important. Listen, please. They have seen that Nnamdi Kanu is not ready and has no any plan of dropping the Biafra agitation. So the most important thing they want right now is to secure his release so that sit at home will end, at least for them to restore the legitimacy of being the governors and, of course, senators representing their senatorial zones under the federal government of the zone, and then to remain relevant. That is it. Then the problem here now is the zoo government under Tifnubu and Fulani oligarchy want a total submission that we are going to release you, but you must abandon the Biafra agitation. Are you paying that? Are you following? So there are two views here now. The plans of the Southeast politicians is different from the plan of the federal government of the Fulani. These are two different plans. So there is a very big problem. That's why when they come, they tell you we are pleading. Because of what? The plan of the government, they are not saying we cannot release Nnamdi Kanu. No. Tinubu cannot say I cannot release him. No. The problem there is that there are two plans are battling each other now. The Southeast politicians who started the move for political solution failed because Nnamdi Kanu rejected political solution. Now they are planning to at least get him released. Detention, let us douse detention first in the Southeast and gain relevance. Why the federal government want to release him, but to make sure that he drop the fight for freedom. So nothing is working. All this katakata you see them running up and that, nothing is working. Nothing. If they tell you nothing is working, nothing at all. The only thing that will end everything here is the freedom of Biafra. Because as far as I know, nothing is working. Because Tinubu has met Nnamdi Kanu one-on-one. Tinubu has met him one-on-one. Nnamdi Kanu say, no, it is Biafra or nothing. So there's a very big problem, and people are not aware. The Southeastern politicians want to be relevant. They want to be going home, do mpompo as usual, as in the Patagolego, through crook or hook, through hook or crook. But we have said, no, since you are a criminal, we cannot allow you to enjoy that your stolen money in our own land. That is a big problem for them. And they know that if they join hands to fight for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, they will now buy favor. Not only from Nnamdi Kanu, but from the people as well. And when Nnamdi Kanu tell people to let them breathe, people will listen to Nnamdi Kanu. That is all these things, shenanigans you're seeing on social media. I'm telling you the truth. If I nagwagi here about gospel, if I know zibozi oma chuku, Nnamdi Kanu si chuku zie mozi nzende dendo. If I nagwagi here about gospel. You understand? So now, for the fact that the problem is there, they are not succeeding, and it's a very, the problem is like mountain Kilimanjaro. The problem is like Kilimanjaro mountain. Now, having said that, I'm going to send a very strong message. Going by the title of this broadcast, I will send a strong message, then we'll continue with the video. As we continue with the video, analyzing the video, then I will also open the line for our people to call and make their contribution at the same time. Now, pay attention. Let me send a message to Abaribe. At least right now, we have over 1,100 and something people watching live. So let me send a message to Abaribe, because I'm very certain this very broadcast is going to go very, very far. By this time tomorrow, many Biafrans must have watched this broadcast, if not all Biafrans who are interested in Biafra agitation or liberation. So now, let me say this, please. Going by the title of this very live presentation this very evening, today, 3rd of July 2024, and the time right now is approximately 18 minutes past 9 p.m. in the land of Chukwokika-Abiama, the land of Biafra. That we, the Biafran people, are standing firm. This is a redeclaration of our old stand. And everybody must understand this. If you can cut here, cut it, please. Very important. I will cut it by myself, by the way. We, the Biafran people, are standing firm with the word that was spoken by the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, His Excellency, Mazi Samnepa, that we can only accept, because they are now running up and down, they are gathering, the vultures are gathering. They want to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whichever way, whatever it takes, for them to continue their relevance in Alibo. The vultures are gathering. And going by what Abaribe said, that he met Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on Monday between 2 to 3 p.m. and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is ready to accept any condition for his release. Therefore, we hereby speak in one voice as Biafran people that we support wholeheartedly with our full chest the word of the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, Mazi Samnepa, His Excellency Mazi Samnepa, that we can only accept when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released and visit him in Finland. That the only time the Biafran people will accept the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is when we see him in Finland with the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, Mazi Samnepa. This is the stand of the Biafran people. The 70 million Biafra people are standing with that very singular word spoken many years ago by the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must, capital M-U-S-T, must visit him in Finland before we now believe that he has been released by the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. Only that should we accept that he has been released, and only that should we end the Monday sit at home. If there will be another sit at home, the government will let the whole Biafrans know. But for now, because we instituted Monday sit at home for his unconditional release, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu sits down with our Prime Minister in Finland, then we will believe that he has been released, and that is the only when Monday sit at home will be called off. If you release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tomorrow and he is in Afaruku Ibeku Palace and talk to Biafrans, we shall never accept it. I'm going to cut this message by myself, and if you can cut it, you listening to me right now, If you can cut it and send it to them. Post it on any group that you follow. They must get it. That is the only time we will accept anything called release of Nnamdi Kanu. He must be there in Finland. We will see it. We will watch him speaking one-on-one with the Prime Minister, His Excellency Mazi Samanepa. Then we will now believe whatever you call release. We are not ready to accept your shenanigans, your criminality, your evil, your perverse, whatever you are doing to confuse the gullible, that you want to release Nnamdi Kanu so that sit-at-home will end, the so-called insecurity will end. It is none of our business. When you release him, we want him in Finland. That is where we stand, and that is the stand of the 70 million Biafra people all over the world. Whoever you are, the governors must get this message. The senators must get this message. The House of Representatives must get this message. Everybody clamoring for the release of Nnamdi Kanu must get this message. From there, we will start having conversation for the stop or the end of sit-at-home. Without that, we must make sure that all of you will not visit Igbo land again with your entourage and enjoy in our own soil with the stolen money belonging to the people. We will make sure that you will never ever enjoy that stolen money again. If you want to enjoy it in Abuja there. Not in our land. Never. Enjoy that your stolen money in Abuja. You will never step your foot in our land and enjoy your stolen money in your kinsman with our own stolen money. You stole our money and you impoverish us. You want us to be clapping for you. It will never happen again. Never. That is the stand of over 70 million Biafrans all over the world. Mad people everywhere. Each and every fan before marker. That very message stands. It stands gidibam. Irrespective of what they think. It doesn't matter whatever anybody does. We don't care. We don't care. That message stands gidibam. And that is the end of everything. Whenever you people are ready to release Nnamdi Kanu, kindly let us know. Let us know. We will help you. We are going to help you. But you must help yourself first. So let us know when you are ready to free him, so that we can be able to accept him or welcome him in Lahti, Finland. On that note, I'm going to share the link to this very studio so that those of you who would want to come in to make your contribution will hastily do so. As we continue analyzing this very broadcast, this very video, the link is right now in the comment section. If you want to join this very broadcast, kindly click that very link and join me live in the studio so that we can have a discussion while I continue analyzing the video. Time has passed when people will come and do anyhow they like, and you think I will be clapping for you. We'll be clapping for you. And yes, sir, yes, sir. No more yes, sir. Yes, sir is now a thing of the past. We can no longer allow any criminal to breathe in our land. Never. It is over and over and over. That is the end of it. Until Biafra comes and beyond. You people have met your Waterloo. That thing happening in Kenya is even a child's play with what is happening in Biafra land against these criminals that call themselves politicians. What is happening in Kenya, because it is on social media, it is child's play. It is child's play to what is happening to these criminals that call themselves politicians in Biafra land. I'm not saying it's a child's play to what is going to happen to them. No. I'm telling you that what is happening in Kenya today is a child's play to compare with what is happening already, what is happening to these criminals that call themselves politicians in Biafra land. It is Biafra or nothing. We do not want any other thing. We don't listen to any other thing. Mad people everywhere.
Maybe last is that you are is a Swati, not the first trial.
Yes.
In case they need the senator to be a Swati this time around, will you be willing to stand?
I don't think that is necessary to ask. We came here on his behalf, and that tells you that any of our senators that you see, the 15 of us, by the way, the 15 of us signed this letter. A few of us are not here just for reasons of logistics and all that. Some are also not, but we all signed the letter, and you will also have a copy of the.
He said they all signed the letter. 15 lawmakers from southeastern part of the concoction that they call Nigeria. They all signed the letter, including Ifanyoba. That Otundo, that Afonso, is among those that signed the letter. The Otundo signed the letter. According to this man called, what's the name? Abaribe. That Ifanyoba also signed the letter. Can you imagine? Meaning that their plans have all failed. They have all failed. They failed woefully. They were unable to kidnap Nnamdi Kanu. Let me welcome Moses. Moses, can you hear me? Please grab the microphone and talk to us if you can hear me. Moses, are you there? Moses, are you there? All right, Carlos, can you hear me? Carlos, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please grab the microphone.
Yes, I can hear you, Ordinary. Good evening. Yeah.
Hold on. Those of you who can as well call on WhatsApp, if you have the WhatsApp number, you can as well call on WhatsApp. Let's continue. Carlos, if you can hear me, please go ahead.
Ordinary, good evening.
You're welcome, please. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. These people, they are not just a serious people. And these people, you will not need to take these people serious because these people have a plan. They have been planning, and they have been planning. And Ordinary, I want to suggest something. Are you hearing me? Hello? Hello, are you hearing me?
When I gave you the microphone, I'm not chatting with you. We are not interacting. You are talking to Biafrans. So just hit the point. Go to your point. And use 2 minutes, please.
Okay. What I mean is the high time I got Chunjo. So it was Chunjo. So you go first. It's the high time. Can put on them? All these governors and these senators, they are messing up too much, and we have given these people a lot of enough time, and because they buy time and they find it easy to ride on Biafra, and find it easy to do undo to us, and do undo. In high time, I found also at least if I had made that meeting, now. This thing is becoming too much. Imagine those people every time they are mocking us. Every time they are mocking us, how can a governor, after giving speech and say whatever, whenever whenever that is, it can be whenever next year, or when everybody have buy finish. So before they will come and sit again. This we should not fold our hands. That man have stayed there too much. Man Nnamdi Kanu have stayed there too much. I feel for him. In fact, every day my heart bleed. My heart bleed every day by day. I have prayed, I prayed for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even before he was kidnapped, I saw it. But no way to reach anybody and to say it. But since it happened, I've been praying. And this man have suffered there a lot. For how many years now? This is a high time we should increase the volume. Let the rain fall heavily. Let this rain that is falling, let it fall. Oro mageke omo granite from there. Eke yana street by street, market by market, shop by shop. One of the thing you know le chide ke yanaka. Like when attack came on Israel country, when the Hamas launched attack, everybody in the street, both boy as far as you are up to 18 years, everybody carry firewood for hand and walking stick. At least they can this walking stick by street.
Hold on. We are not glorifying terrorism or terrorists. We don't glorify them here. Yes, the world has clarified Hamas as a terrorist organization. So we cannot glorify whatever action they are taking, we cannot glorify them. So please, let's concentrate on the discussion and don't compare whatever Hamas is doing. They are fighting for their own way. So we are not comparing what they are doing. Please, let's leave that one by the side. Let them continue do whatever they are doing. It doesn't have any effect, or it's not our concern. So thank you, my brother. God bless you. I've gotten your point. May God bless you for your contribution. Thank you. I'm going to bring someone else in. Chidozie, please grab the microphone and talk to us, please.
Hello.
Chidozie, can you hear me? Please go ahead. Grab the microphone.
Hello.
Chigozie, go
Hello.
ahead and talk to us. Go ahead and talk to us, or else I'm going to bring someone else. Okay, please, once you join me, make sure that you are ever ready to speak. Once I call you in, please grab the microphone and speak, and start speaking immediately. Reverend D.E.C.Chi, please grab the microphone.
Thank you, Biafra Unite. And God bless you.
You're welcome. Please go ahead.
Yes, these people think that we are joking because they have tried to stop the sit at home, and they saw that they can't, and they can never. They also plan to clone an impostor to bring it out and say they have released Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That one, our Prime Minister and all of you, media team, crash it down and Biafra we at home. And this thing they are doing now, shenanigan, that all of them are now supporting the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Hey! Ekwensu abụrụkwanụ pastor. Yeah? Can good wine come from one bottle, and the same vein bad wine come from one bottle? Because What they are doing now, this thing they are clamoring now is, I am seeing part of their plan that they are doing it just to make Biafrans to mellow down, to make us to okay, they are ready now to release now, they can, okay, let's everybody relax, everybody relax. The symptom and the style of criminal expelled DOS. Their champion is the Caro wife, who always tell us that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is in the good spirits, high spirits. Everybody calm down. To cool everybody down. And this their fake news that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has agreed to settle out of court, which was not what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said with his mouth. The lawyer was just quoting for them their own constitution, scam constitution. And they are publicizing it to create in the heart of some persons that Onyendu has accepted to be settled. One of our canon told me something one time, that they have settled DOS, they have settled their propaganda, they have settled Simon, they have settled Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Small time, you know, hear about it. And that is a high profile meeting they went with the leaders, PGs, Igwes, governors, and we religious leaders.
Mazi, can you repeat that, please? Can you start it all over?
This they are doing, their propaganda, settling out of court. One time this is July, in February, one of our clergymen told me that he got intel from direct high-profile member of DOS from Anambra State, and their meeting they had with PGs, Igwes, religious leaders, and the governors, that they have settled the DOS, and they have settled Nnamdi Kanu. That when he comes out now, you just know that they have settled him. And they are trying to settle Simon Ekpa. And that's why Simon is disturbing, so that he will collect his own share and go in. I told him that this is a propaganda of Nigeria. I will never believe it. And that is what they are creating now, to publicize that Onyendu want out of court settlement. Which kind of settlement? Which kind of settlement?
Let me come in there, please. I understand that you are a reverend. So as a reverend, you are privileged, or should be privy to some information to some extent. So let me tell you something. Thank God you told them that is a propaganda. That is zoo propaganda. The issue there is that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has been given a vice presidential position. We don't forget in a hurry. Our brain is always very, very sharp. Very, very sharp, like a sword of two edges. So Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was given a mansion in Banana Island, given a mansion in Abuja, and given given the position of the second in command under Buhari in 2015. We all know this.
Yes.
He exposed it when he came out.
Yes.
And he rejected it. He literally rejected it. So do you think that he will come to accept? What kind of settlement is that? Are they talking about? Of course, we
That
all
is
know the settled DOS. We know the settled DOS. We know that one very well. It's not even, they don't have to expose it because it's already exposed. We know. But for them to say Simon is making noise so that they'll come and settle it, it's a lie.
big fallacy.
We have gone far.
Big fallacy.
The game is on top. So we have gone
Fallacy.
beyond that. Thank you, my brother. Reverend, God bless you. God
God
bless
bless
you
you,
for
my
your
brother.
submission.
My joy now is that our people have started voting more. My experience in the February and then the March, especially in May. In May, I have low and lesser more voters. But now our people, and in fact, if I'm going on the way, they see me, they say, when am I coming for you to vote for me? Because we must continue. Our life is at stake. Our life is at stake, and the battle of life. Bible said, David said, I love them that love the Lord. Anybody that loved our freedom is our beloved. Anybody that hates it is our enemy. And God loved that. Thank you. And God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend. God bless you too for that wonderful submission. I appreciate your coming. All right. Chidozie, please grab the microphone if you can hear me. Chidozie. All right, call on WhatsApp, please. Your name and where you're calling us from. Go ahead.
Good evening, my brother. Happy you pick my call. Good evening, my own brother. Unite.
You're welcome. Can you be audible, please? Can you be audible, please? I can't hear you. Talk less of Biafrans. Okay. Can you be audible?
Okay. How far now? Good evening. How far now? Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I'm applauding you, my brother. I appreciate you. The only voice that unites to Mochineke. I appreciate you, my brother, on the good work you and every other ones are doing. I'm so happy. I just close work now and open a platform and see you online. Even though I'm not listening to your analysis, but I see the caption, your headline, our next line of action. I just call to make my own candid contribution, even though I don't know how you have analyzed it. But I believe it is all geared in the shenanigans of press release of our Igbo's governors and the debunking by Obasanjo. Am I correct?
Go ahead, please.
Okay. So I want to come out to put a kind of shame on all of Igbo's governors on their shameless attitude of thinking that they can use our man to play politics always. Thinking that they can put him on the void, in the mount, to use it to gain applause of we Igbos and Biafrans. Thank God for somebody like Obasanjo who doesn't hide. Obasanjo is like Mayunkwelu and Haizo.
No, we cannot thank God for somebody like Obasanjo. It's not possible. Whatever he does, whether debunking them or not, they are all in one position. We cannot thank Obasanjo. We cannot thank God for Obasanjo. All right, please, next caller, please go ahead. Next caller, can you hear me? Please go ahead. Please be audible.
Good evening to you.
You're welcome. Please be audible, please.
Okay, thank you so much, my brother, for the good work you are doing. It's penetrating well. And this night, I was like, the song that is in my mind is just Biafra Bianugo Kweremia Anarugo. Even though that we have not reached, but this song, faith comes by believing in what you have not seen, but with time, it will still come to accomplishment. So as it stands now, it's a joy that we should be celebrating because our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, said that when the time will come, from one problem to the other, till to the extent that it will reach the time when it will reach, they will start to negotiate. Everybody will be pleading. It has come to that stage, and we are seeing it. It has come to that stage. So even though that sometimes, even the way you're explaining things, when you think it is the other way, when you will explain it, you will see that yes, if you look into it, there will be a kind of some hidden fact that they will not make you to know, which you people that have a spiritual insight used to understand. But whichever way they are coming from, in fact, the truth has come to take the throne. There is no more way. There is no more room for lie. There is no more room for pretense. There is no more room for crook. What do you call it? Is it who can crook? That one. So the issue now is that we are already approaching our freedom because all the prophets has come to pass. This last time now that even if you watch their faces, you will see that they are all disappointed. It's just that they cannot just keep quiet because you know that somebody that have been talking, they just as you say that if somebody is very wealthy and that person is living outside, the person will always like to come and showcase himself as an Igbo. That is who he are. So now that has reached to this extent now that this grace has turned to grass, it's a shame. But what can they do? They will continue to talk. But the way I am pitying them is not to be sincere with themselves because this thing is escalating to a higher pains upon them. So if they know what is good for them, it's better. Just like they will hear this broadcast from you, what you have been there. If they want it in peace, let them do the needful, the right thing. Because as it's touching them, just look at what is happening in the whole world. It's not only us. But just for the sake of our freedom, for the sake of truth that have come to take the throne, is affecting the whole world. If you listen to even the debate of Biden and you said that we should not be talking about others, but it's similar to tell you how it is affecting us positively. It is affecting us positively because if you cannot say the truth in this era that we are now, I'm sorry for that person. That thing that you think, that smartness that you think you thought you are just shaming yourself because finally shame that shining, that smart will turn to shame. Let me hold this here because of others that might want to say something, but I'm just happy and I am seeing our freedom coming to reality. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you, my sister. God bless you for that awesome submission. I appreciate that. All right, let me welcome my brother Rastafari.
Gracias, son. Bless your love, my brother.
Gracias.
Top notch, as usual. My brother, waiting there for the Zoom, we say, forward, no Grigo. I'm the backward, no Grigo. The zoo is now a ghost, nowhere to turn to now. I say forward, no Grigo. Zoo backward, no feet go. The zoo is now a ghost. You know, fear revive these damn ghosts. They don't graduate to Boko Haram and so. When them they support, they carry the suicide bomb and they go Finland. Because as servants, because now criminals now I know say no be you are the talk to some people where we say they no get to know say like many times where some people will tell you say what about you Southeast what do I call illegitimate leaders in as much as they don't see it like that. We try to remind them that these people are recruited, just like Samad Bello said, soon after the independence of the so-called contraption, that is an estate of Uthman Danfodio. And if any person apart from the northernization or the northerners for the northernization is going to be working for them on contract. So for this reason, they take Afonjas from the west, from Oduduwa. they are from they take our own slave. They on contract, make they work for them. So can you see how Abaribe was counting his words? Because he knows that everything he says, the Biafrans are going to go on it and analyze it very well. So this man, Abaribe, Iberibe, who was talking about, first of all, like what you said, he wanted the people to assume that that yes was that Oyendu is for their so-called political condition. But you catch him and you separated that yes because he hung his conscience on the years that he went. But even whether he go there now, this one we don't even know. But he want to, all this thing is for Biafrans because they know, see, when Biafrans, when they talk about Biafra, every year is like this towards you, and they talk about Nnamdi Kanu, all ears to you, and they don't say, as you don't lose the all relevance, Now, all this information is just for the people when they say they won't stop this sit at home now and all everything will surround the sit at home. So it's a mind condition of the people. And I ask him, because how I question whether he even went there, which I believe he might go because the thing jihad as you said.
Yeah.
Whether now somebody where they tell me say Nigeria is a country of rule of law. And when he said it in slow motion. And the same man from his mouth, you see when they tell you, say, this man you go into, are you pleading to people, man who won after committing the crime of extraordinary rendition and brought him to the contraption. And now the man won you again. And the court said that he's not even allowed to be tried. You say you are pleading. And this is after 3 good years. They are coming up. And the thing where you say, you mentioned something why they give it to Hope was on the man. My brother, Zoo don't fall. And the fall, where Zoo go fall? Now basha like this, face for the ground. They know if one fall, you go fall in the worst way. The same way with the thing where he said, all this is whatever. He didn't know that thing all came out to show how hypocritical they are. It has to happen that way so that anything what we say will give you, make you put hope, say, you go come out and forward. That is how the Most High Jah set them up, make them they fall. Because when they won't fall, they don't go fall and stagger more. Now, flat, then they fall for ground. That is the reason why that had to happen that way. We had to say what in the talk, betray everything. Anyone will be one even take follow him. You go come first of all, you check him. You see, say it don't make sense. Then he connect to the Prime Minister what he talk about. Say now, see their main plan, which correspond with also your own analysis and exposition of your own intel from 6 months, what they plan. So my brother, with the Aneti Hamma, maka ekwe mgbakpọrọ go igbara bịaba ekwe mgbakpọrọ go ịbịara bịaba gaba do hamma nava do hamma ekwe mgbakpọrọ prime minister ekwe mgbakpọrọ go ịbịara bịaba ekwe mgbakpọrọ go ịbịara bịaba ekwe mgbakpọrọ go ịgbara bịaba Dike, release we don't even have to deliberate on that. First of all, now their problem is the sit at home. And now, where they don't try everything. Now we, the people, as you rightfully said, now we they decide the condition. Now we they set the pace. Now we they set the now we go because now we they sit at home. In as much as our leader, they sit inside one place. We chose the Nnamdi Kanu they sit at. So now the same people where they get their head. Now we go decide. Not be the people where they fight us all the while. Nobody then go give us condition. No. Now we, they on the side of justice. Now we, they on the side of God. Now we have the say. And we not feel betray ourselves and our conscience and Most High God. So this is not so the things say, not so it be. So the problem be say, forward no gree go for them and the backward no gree go because this is they shake anyhow. This is I say na ghost TV, don't die. Ghost TV, they don't know what it is because if they release Nnamdi Kanu now, and this man no really leave Biafra. And our prime minister, they look, now prime minister are no go zone. So what if they release them now? They say Biafra they come first of all. These people they do voting. And if we don't release them, if they push the people for the Biafra still. Now because the injustice they oversight. So that is why forward no good for them, backward no good for them. They don't They don't, and now then they think about how they go in exile because they know say there's no place for them in the southeast. They are looking for relevance now. How it will take happen, and there is no way for them. My brother, I'd like to make I let somebody else talk. Yeah, give
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you, Rastafari.
Blessed
Rastafari.
love, my brother. Blessed love.
Bless you, man. Bless you, man. Thank you so much. All right, please. Everybody has only one minute, please. We are running out of time. One minute for everyone. Mercy Palmer, please, 1 minute. Use your time judiciously. 1 minute, please. Mercy Palmer, can you unmute yourself? Mercy Palmer, you are not there. Oman Bala, unmute yourself. 1 minute, please.
Sorry, a little busy. Sorry.
Okay.
Oman Bala, go ahead.
Okay. Mazi Biafra Unite. I send you greetings from
Can you be
Biafra land.
audible, please? Can you be audible?
Okay. Okay. Am I being heard now?